In investigations, truth is always key. No compromise, no favors, no mistakes. Only one thing matters: telling the story as hot as it is and letting the chips fall where they may. At the end, there will be discoveries. Hearts will be broken. Pain will be felt. Anger will rise, yet it will not change the truth. The truth always wins, saves, and makes us relieved. For more investigative stories, documentaries, and more, watch your investigative magazine program on the Kwaku Annan channel and enjoy the best in investigative stories on religion, politics, economics, and more. The Kwaku Annan channel, only the truth matters. Kindly subscribe to the Kwaku Annan channel and press the subscribe button now for more exclusive stories. It's now or never. Coming up on today's episode of Ghana Speaks.
What's up, world? It's your boy Nate Pro, and I'm watching Kwaku Annan on Kwaku Annan TV. Listen, there's a difference between fiction and reality. If you want the real, if you want the truth, and if you want it raw, well, you are the right place. Kwaku Annan TV is the place to be. It don't get better than this. Stay tuned. Feel it!
Now, to your host, Kwaku Annan. Spit the fire.
Kwaku Annan TV. Saya sana homane wa wase da. Kwaku Kirigum. Kwaku Annan TV. Saya sana homane wa wase da. Kwaku Kirigum. Kwaku Annan wa sweating. Hu nyewu hu. Ghana hu don't you. Kasa. Kwaku Annan wa sweating. Hu nyewu hu. Ghana who don't you? Kasa. Yo, you're so quite try show na you try quite penny ni wire. Ya bo quite betu show. Very much Sydney nie. Me share Kwaku Annan. I will Kwaku Annan TV. Kwaku, me adao, me tayochi. Yo, you're so quite try show na you try quite penny ni wire. Ya bo quite betu show. Very much Sydney nie. Me share Kwaku Annan. I will Kwaku Annan TV. Kwaku, me adao, me tayochi.
Hello, I am Kwaku Annan, and this is Ghana Speaks, brought to you by The Hawk Investigations Limited, your reliable investigative machinery, ready to walk along your path, out of your way of any adversary. Contact the agency for any help or any form of assistance on 020-228-3252. Indeed, today, on your global market square, we zero down on the need for you to take advantage of this awesome location to advertise all sorts of products, clothes, wear, hardwares, real estate, or inventions, etc. My guest tonight, of course, my guest tonight at the square would be JoJo the biogas expert, to talk to you about what you need to know now and into the future. And I want you to listen to JoJo very carefully. Ebusiafo memamu akwaba na minimise omoye. Bone biaso eni makwem. Ene Ghana Speaks, brought to you by The Hawk Investigations Limited for ene yenemo eba besom. Yenemo besom won kwa semu anase ene kure kwan so. Ye no be din komo e wo ne kura kwan so. Ne de nyoma to say the said to. Ene the part 4. E wo Galamsey nsem ye ne mo akwanim kakra fine. Eyi nsem bebra e ho enso behia says ye dan e de kira mo. Now every amene mo ka say me twa mfoni na ma kira say program ya me de bro ye Ghana Speaks Way. Edwumakoi eye Hawk Investigations Limited for Eneboye Chidom. Say Edwumakoi se menka nkyerɛ say bibiara e haw e kyerɛ wadwen so. Enipa bonefo bi ni wudi atetatete. Enipa bonefo bi ni wisi konko. Enipa bonefo bi ayese bebo wonsi echi age usika. Ana omodo afa konia se bi so emfa ekwan mu krakrakra. Nemom aye wadwene mu kese na say enkofo mu ye kwan no. That is all about say obe ascertain wo identity. Anaso mu nipa ban no eno ena ayeden ayedin ama no. Eni nti Edwumakoi the Hawk for say bomoden na frɛ na asɛm ne se de ne ti ne nan ti bia no wo de bɛda wo ma wono bɛto mo boase wo mmerema ekuku damfo ma ben ɛwɔ investigations mu undercover mu na wo makɔfom akɔhwehwɛ nneɛmam ne nsɛm nim ama no mo de answers ni aba ebiom ɔse hwan na ɛhwɛ from behind ai obi di watetatete ana obi yɛ oden ni na no bɛhwɛ ememu asɛm no ada hɔ kama ebiom enen so me do be wura eye o Global Market Square ho a ye bedi edwa ewo ho an bronya bosom na mu na ye wura no enema pii na ye na no ye hwehwe won mo a pentare ama mofra mo a mo pese bi a mo pe edan kra ansa na afi na kwewie bebre ena mo hia enema hodo pia bibia wo benya no ne asem nanso wo tirim se wo hia we ai ena na dream ne kojo awo no wono de ekye se nkoma ye ni di na hardware so wonso betimi aba me ye ne wedi nkomo e wo de entare a wo ton ho ana se dwa bi a wudi a wo pese wo bomo de ro ba nipa ho no ye ba hihye ni na kama e de ama wate ai enu nti no mpemfo se frɛ wom Global Market Square no so ye the same number ye 02022283252 ne no edi nkomo hye no so se Ghana Speaks Way, it's live on Facebook and YouTube. Nina no kowa Kwaku Annan TV. Ubenya no Facebook Kwaku Annan TV and YouTube Kwaku Annan TV. No wetini ahwe bi. So bomodi aso wo hwe enso no subscribe na bibia no enko ye wo subscribe ya na wako button no so press adoma no so le bibia de na kwame biom on saka link so a pass ma wunia na wunia bi nya bi enhwe as soon as possible. Me any kojo awono in touch base. Ne enhwe de ne opesu yi train na enye bibia sa dadwe no influ so na obetu ana momo akoma kojo awono. Witimi abwa. Listen to kojo awono on your Global Market Square. Take a listen to him.
Ti onam so a ye be ye ne kitchen kama e de man ye man wanka se be di hu adanse nso. Mami akwaba.
Yeah.
Se bibia boko. Okay. Biogas experts and engineering. Minim say onye din kita ho ache ene ya be wadwuma na ma etew sen.
Oh, beyond expectation.
Wow.
I never knew you guys.
Okay.
I just saw you on the TV.
All right.
Like, the way they are saying, why don't I try them?
Okay.
I gave Kwadu a call.
All right.
And he responded so nicely.
Okay.
And we keep communicating.
Wow.
And he promised he can do without even me being here.
Okay.
But because of what I've been going through,
yes.
I didn't want that.
Okay.
I wanted to be here.
Yeah.
So we keep communicating and I got here.
Yes.
Like I went to the office.
Okay.
And started doing, honestly. I was expecting something good, but this is beyond what I was
the good.
expecting.
Many papa. Because you have a problem. When it comes to kitchen.
Okay.
You have a problem. Then so ubenya ubia your kitchen open. Then if you have bibia no kitchen in the last thing my.
Okay.
Internet is a me do na me money there.
Okay.
Man feeling me. Bibia many ajimako misika anhekwa.
Wow.
I really love this kitchen. It's like
okay.
I don't know. I've gone to a lot of houses and but never ever, especially the materials.
Okay.
very expert, very good.
Wow.
So I wish I have a lot of people to recommend them
Yes.
to Biogra. They are so good,
okay.
honestly. They are good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. God
Wow.
bless you and your team.
Wow. So where were you before you head to the
I was in Canada.
Canada?
Yeah,
Not in
I
Ghana.
was watching N2 TV.
Okay. Okay.
And all along, this house has been here for more than 20 years.
Wow.
But because I have a specific type of kitchen I want,
Yes.
I just made a small kitchen at the back
Okay.
to use all the time.
Okay.
So this one, I knew I have to find a very good person.
Okay.
I never knew.
Yes.
Nobody introduced him. But all of a sudden, I just connected.
Yes.
And I'm like, I trust this guy.
Okay.
And he didn't fail me.
Fail you. So how is their work?
Very good.
Okay.
The workers, they are excellent, very loving,
On point.
caring, like, everything, like, they are very friendly.
Wow. Okay.
They are serious and focused.
Yes.
You tell them anything, they are not mad. They just explain
Okay.
if they have to change it. But to be honest, I didn't even tell them to change anything because whatever they are doing was
On point.
yes.
They know what they were
Oh,
doing.
yeah.
Wow.
I didn't have any problem.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
And at the end,
You have a nice kitchen like this. I can see you are excited about the kitchen.
no, it's just too much.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Is it only the kitchen? What about the other works that?
And my ceiling wasn't like this.
Okay.
So your boss said, you know what, Auntie, why don't it's like how do you call that plastic one?
POP.
No.
TNG.
TNG or whatever.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, whatever you are saying, I think it will be nice.
Okay.
And he did it
He
for
did
me.
it for
And
you.
now look at that.
Yeah.
I really love it.
All right.
And he gave me some bonus doing that door.
Yeah.
I thought you are good.
Wow. So,
Thank you so much.
so what are you telling the one watching?
So what I want to tell you is
Yes.
Biogra, if you are Ghanaian, just look for them.
Okay.
Look for them. I'm telling you, you will never regret. And your money will never be wasted. You will love it.
Yes.
Biogra, just ask wherever they are. They are very good.
Very, very good. All right. So when you jam amini yaye, enu ntina me say, fani na be dan biogas expert engineering for, ye be hwe ne ya yamo kama kama. Mami ne kitchen ne nia so, ne nia age. Edwuma bia e fa dansie ho, say ye ceiling, even wiring, ni na fani na be dan biogas expert engineering. Emfa woni be bia wo, ye be ba be ye e di amon. Mami ne nia age. Enu ntina me say fa number na go screen ase no. Na wo de frey o frey ne a biogas expert engineering for ye beba be ye e dia mo kama na wo so tumi unsampa biogas yenso ye wo ho a ye betumi aye wadwuma no e dia ma opa nti fo wadwuma ni na be dan yen frey yen ye hwe nim so be frey yen fa numbers na go screen ase no na ye mbra emba be ye ma na tue bibi kuma bi ne ye nya adwuma no kama emfa ema biogas expert engineering ye beba be ye e dia ma kama.
Great. Welcome back to Ghana Speaks, brought to you by Hawk Investigations Limited. Now, today's episode of Ghana Speaks, the battle lines on Galamsey drawn as former Minister of State and Son nipped, part 4. Every way, and you know, subidin komo, yedi bibre 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nasa and komo say Minister Bia Caneno, Omampini, His Excellency Adodan Kwaku Annan Tv, call. Aswaya wono na no wohwe ye kwaye ye wirem ni nsuo ho bambo no ensam bi ebe piepie se papa yi ono ankasa nso na ne companies bi wo wirem ho a na wono mo eye ye dwuma bi a ni na efa mining ho se ye papa se nye mining papa na no mo ye no etiefo mo etietie bia mo na mo be the best judges in this very expose ye. Now, Neba JoJo Frimpong Watson so a couple of times in the interview and then he also say, "One put the no nim the year come." na nkansem say onim company bi kura na nkansem say company nso aye ne dia. But then eventually as we go forward, JoJo Frimpong Boateng at one point admitted say I or infidie bi any company bi a eye mining no. Ensam no be here bubuja. We play you an exclusive conversation with JoJo Frimpong Boateng, son of Dr. Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, about his operations in mining and related activities. In this conversation, he made a scathing revelation and accused a number of government officials, party faithfuls, plus self-styled Anas Aremio Anas to be behind an illegal company called C&J Alaska. Now, a name Imre Anase name may be bought sa enkomwe achiro abra yene ora Frimpong Boateng ne ba JoJo Boateng nkoma yene ni di ya abranti kan samwa nsam ni bina ehu kakra nkomo ni bebre no ko wie se I omampeni His Excellency President Akufo-Addo ene ne papa kra ye meeting a nsam bebre ko so was a meeting ni mu a president ma ne papa hu se wota na chi papa e wo de wo ye nyam no wota na chi a no wota na chi wa konia sabenso we dwuma no wo ye o ministry ho ana edwuma wo ye wo kwaye mu ho ana edwuma no wo ye den well ni na no beti wo so abrantie ko so enso ebo enipa bi kwadu a wonom wo aban mu se sai nipa yi nara eka ho ene e kwaye nim ene e forest reserves wo nya no eniema bi ntoye ne kwadu bono so koya ma ebi ekokoka sa abrantie a munim dede ya na onam Ghana bonten zo ya waya ha aka so obeto wire mu ana kwayi mu ana esrebim ana mipom eye self-style Anas Aremio Anas entrapment enterprise watia ene enterprise egu ma onene papa Kwaku baako epe kwayi mu akwakobo mu adwa no JoJo Frimpong Boateng kyeresa Anas yinsuso etai company bi echi a ochire mu se sa company wo mudin ene C&J Alaska wonom so eye illegal mining ewo kwae mu ebusuafo eye hu yie papa na nsem no ene ye deda na die ede a kire mo wankasa we hu said the nyama ni na no esi echo. In his quest to impress upon, JoJo Frimpong Boateng disclosed a closed-door meeting with his father, a closed-door meeting between his father and the president, His Excellency Adodankwa Akufo-Addo. He asserted the president's unflinching support for his father during his tenure in office. Said a meeting can catch them. Not just say, Papi, Abranti, Patches, president. Edone papa no papa tini papa nkoma one president di ene dia na chese eniema bebre no president Akufo-Addo ene ne papa ene eko ene eba na emom ye ntimi hu se papa ne papa no eye dwuma no wo ye o ministry on president Bonabaso ana se de wo mo ye wo kwae mu ho ebusuafo afi yentie nkomo no a ne JoJo Frimpong Boateng di ene yentie emu ensem ene de okafa mpenimfo bi eho ewa abanim party nim including Anas Aremio Anas ene nsamone a wono so wodie ewo Ghana ye kwae mu ho enem ne ade take a listen to him.
You have to remember every details because everything is there, you know. And I started Symphony back in 2000 and Symphony is about 10 getting to 11 years now. You know, actually I started back in 2006, you know, because I was in the States. Now I was raised in Germany. I moved to Ghana. I went to Ghana International School. And those days I was friends with Sam Jonah, you know, and then the kids, Richard, Andrew, and Tamara, and this thing. You know, unfortunately, Richard died, you know, and Andrew is in jail. And a lot of things happened. And well, throughout my university, I came back to Ghana. I went to Valley University just to get to know the Ghanaian system. And then I went to do my national service at the boathouse. That was 2006. That was Daniel Real was the chief operating officer. And so the long story short, then I got a chance to go into Obuasi. You know, but the first time I went to Obuasi, that was in 2006, 2007. Okay. you know. So I was expecting like, no, like this is where the gold center. Because when I was living in Minnesota, I was like, yeah, Obuasi is well known, you know. So I was expecting the new heavens and you know, a city of gold, and everything is, you know, I'll be bathing in gold and everything is. Well, when I went there, so I fell asleep. So when they woke me up, they said we're in, and so I was like, we're where? They said we're in Obuasi. I was like, what do you mean we're in Obuasi? You know, it was a shock, you know. So if I didn't see this old railways where they used to pass go, I would never believe that I was in Obuasi. I was shocked. I was like, how is this possible? You know, and they were like, it was just like a village. Even some villages were nicer than Obuasi itself. So long story short, you know, I lived there for a while, you know, and I started supplying the mines. I was working with Anglo Shad, like doing contracts and supplies and stuff. Even that didn't work out. And, you know, I tried other businesses. I was doing biodiesel, alternative renewable energy, you know, before I went into mining. When I started mining, then that was around 2009. I was doing symphony. And at the same time, I was doing like small scale mining. But the challenge was, you know, once we were doing the right thing, you know, you have to go through the Minerals Commission, you have to go through the District Minerals Commission and register and do the paperwork and so on and so forth. And as we were doing that, you know, that I had my one excavator and a wash plant. Others were just mining, you know, doing what's called Galamsey. You know, so while we were waiting for the paperwork, you know, they were just mining every day, making money, and we had to do the right thing. And I'm like, what kind of, what is this? You know, it's like, they will delay you, frustrate you, and that time that was before the Chinese came. You know, these Chinese started coming out 2012. That's when it really started coming in and giving it, but before it wasn't like that. Just a few people were doing this kind of excavator mining with Ghanaian, using the Crumble, the wash plants, and so on and so forth, before the Chinese system came and destroyed everything. So during that time, you know, then I was doing like small scale alluvial mining, trying to get my feet wet. And at the same time, you know, there was a place called Abompe in Obuasi, you know. And Abompe is an old Portuguese shaft. You know, that has been abandoned. The mines have never worked there. It's like, it's on the polar opposite of the mines. So the mines are working at Sanso. I was working, that was back in 2012. You know, that's why I want to give you a list of why they say I have the concession and so on, these things. I'm coming to it. So 2012, I was working there, and that was during the NDC era, you know, and that was in Angola Ashanti. But I didn't really know, it was my first time. So I met some locals that said, like, instead of buying an excavator, why don't you say, we have some land there. So we went to see the deep roads and then the people, and then they showed me the shaft in the middle of nowhere. But I was like, but if there's so much money, how come nobody, you don't know, how come nobody wants to do it? You know, and I went to some prominent people in Obuasi and they're saying that, oh, his wife doesn't like it. This go do and say, no. So I stood there and be like, am I the fool to come and invest? And then next thing is, you know, but anyways, I give it the benefit of that, because if you have a chance and you don't take it, you never get that chance, you never know what's going to happen. So I did it. And unknown to me, I was beating records that I never even knew that existed. What happened was that Portuguese shaft, you know, it's over 300 feet deep. And when they were working there, you know, there's one phase, then there's a second phase. There's just one phase where they were working. So whilst they were working there, you know, the water is deep, you know, but nobody has been able to pump the water all the way down before, until I came and did it, you know. So I pumped all the water and I discovered another shaft, unknown to the community and to the people, because it's never been pumped before since the Portuguese left. But maybe only Angola Ashanti might have these records, but they might not even know that this thing exists like that. So I pumped all the water, they discovered the second shaft, and the place was very, very, very rich, you know. So
Rich in gold.
Rich in gold ore. So when I did that, you know, it's like there were about 5,000 to 10,000 people direct were coming. But since I did not know how to, so I was like, okay, when I did it, I used like my chemistry, my school knowledge to do it. But where I was weak, I thought they would come and help me. But they rather mafiaed me, decided to sabotage my pumps, tried to get me out, saying all sort of things, you know. to the mines, you know, and the mines do, you know, most of them were like NDC peoples, and they allowed all these things to go on, you know, and they got rid of me, and they were making about, those pumping the water were making about 400,000 Ghana cedis a week, alone, you know. I mean, I'm talking about millions and millions of Ghana cedis, that was, and the communities, and the NDC was just, you know, and I was fighting them every day, you know, because the mines were aware, you know, but they allowed them, and soon they realized that they were giving some to the security heads and so on and so forth, and they're all making money. The whole town was making money except for me. They were building filling stations, story buildings, and you name it. So I was very, very peeved, you know, because I did all the hard work. So luckily for me, then this has gone on for like 7 years. Then there was a change in administration, and the NPP came to power. I was like, yes, maybe I'll get a chance to go back and get my money back, because everybody knew that I was the one that did it. So what the NDC did was they quickly went to cover the place, took an excavator, connive, and then cover the place and make sure that, and then they disappeared, you know. And then the mines was then going down because they mismanaged it. It's all mismanagement, you know, and this, you know, they got rid of all the people and so forth, and then they left only, and now it's mechanized. They use a different RAM system to mine, so they don't need that many people anymore. So most of the stuff are laid off, and the ones that came in are all foreigners that have come in, and then, so the locals don't have any things to do. And the situation became, you know, there was a ban on small scale mining because of all these things, you know. So they banned mining throughout the whole country. So the hardship was very, very severe, you know. From the Queen Mother, everyone was complaining and stuff like that. And I'm like, and the mines were only employing about 2,000. All the people there are not from Obuasi. They all came from across South Africa or Australia or wherever they came from. So I was like, no. That's when I set up the Adansi mining group. You know, I was like, look, if there are places like, because the whole town, everything's not good at Shetty's concession. But if we can set up a mining group where some people, like the abandoned area where the mines don't want to work, that's what my thought process. You know, then it's like the locals, we can work there, and then maybe get something so that we can absorb most of the people. Because the Galamsey town, there were 50 to 60,000 people doing Galamsey then. So where they're all going to work. And in that community, that's what they know. If you tell them to go and do farming, nobody's interested. But if you tell them to come and do Galamsey, they all know. And they're the majority. They keep the town running, not the mines. The mines is just the mines, you know. They'll give royalties to the chiefs, and then they'll Tufu get his share. But then the people in Obuasi itself, you know, the Galamsey people is what makes the town thrive. Yeah. So where all these people going to do? Where is all these people going to work? And that was a headache, you know. So what they would start doing was they'll go into the mines, go into the fence, go down on the ground, fight with the workers on the ground, do all sort of havoc. So I started, for the company's best interest, give them some place so that they can work, so that they do not come and disturb you. You know, that was the thought process, so that you have your peace, because I worked with the mines before, I know how the condition there is. You know, and I also been out of the mines, so I know how, so I see two sides of the fence. So you just have to come to equilibrium. Do your mining, now you've concentrated on sandstone, but all these other concessions, they're all been decommissioned. And Abompe, for example, is out of the mines on the other side of the town in the community. So let them work there so that everything, you know, they can put on a community mining concept. They can employ majority of the people, you know, because they don't go around destroying the water bodies like the alluvial miners were doing, and the excavators and this thing. They don't use that. They just pump the water and they go down. It's labor intensive, so you can employ a lot of people. And then everybody will be a gain for everybody. But the NDC people didn't want that. No, they want the APP to suffer, because if Abompe opens, you know, it's going to make the party very, very popular, and it's going to create a lot of jobs and wealth, and it's going to make Akufo-Addo look too good. So whatever they have to do to counter it, they'll do it. So these are some of the challenges, you know. And then there's another place called Akitesi where, you know, where Nana Brobe, they all came to me saying that, oh, we should help, because I look at the hunger, and over 50 to 20,000 people are working there now. You know, so they came through me as like, okay, let's see how we can organize all these people so they can get at least the daily bread, you know. And so they came here, they went to see my father, they went to the Unimpeachable community, they tried to like sanitize, but it's not 100%, let's say, legal, because it's still on Angola Ashanti's concession. So my dad has been talking to just allow them to, so they can, we cannot have a demonstration and so on going and making the party look bad. So these are some of the dynamics. So if you don't really get your feet on the ground, you will never really know. Because sitting across is easy to gather information, but you have to be there to really understand the severity and the gravity of the situation. And sometimes when you go there, it's shocking. Like, one piece of bag and there were 10 people fighting for it as if they, it is insane. It's very, very disturbing, But what I've been, I work on the ground. I don't go on radio, TV. I don't try to promote myself because I don't need to. But like the foot soldiers, the majority, these are the ones I try to control. And they did such a good job by not attacking the mines, by not this. And I thought they should be patient. The government is going to work out, Angola, Ashanti, blah, blah, blah. So just take time. I tried to talk to the Sri Batang, but then the mines were always trying to sabotage because of the NCC people in there. And they are in charge of the security and so on and so forth. So they don't want the MPP to have anything good at all. Even though the MPP came to open the mines, they're able to turn the mines around. But really, they're not really for the government. Because they don't want the people, it's a spirit, I don't know what it is. It's something in Obuasi, it's very, very peculiar to Obuasi. One man wants to have all the money and everybody back down and this thing. So these are some of the challenges. So whatever they have to do to tame my father black and myself black, they'll do it. Because, I'm like, look, we're all human beings. Whether you call them Galamsey or this thing, they're human beings. You cannot say, and it's human life. We're talking about majority of people, so what are they all going to do? And they don't know anything but mining. So you cannot say, okay, go and grow cocoa, or grow tomatoes. How much money can they raise from this thing? So if they should not do something, give them an alternative. But there's no alternative. But you have a whole concession. Okay, just give, it's like, if you eat the meat, give the dogs, give the bones to the dogs, and let the dogs chew it. But if you want to eat the meat and also chew the bones, and after you finish chewing bones, and the rest of the bones, instead of giving the dogs, you want to put it in your pocket and let the dog go hungry, what's going to happen to 50,000 hungry dogs? They are going to kill you, or they'll attack you, they'll do something, and they plan murder. You want to go and smash all the Angola Ashanti class and to keep them cool like that was the biggest headache. And I'm doing that also in the interest of my father. Because if you start a community mining company, I want it to succeed so that the government will look good. And once the community mining concept, which is regulated, the government come in, so everybody's registered. The number of people doing the mining. You don't go and destroy the water bodies. And every large-scale mine in Ghana, give a piece of the concession to the locals, to the communities, for them to mine, so that they can also have their livelihood and it's regulated, and then they put tracking devices on the excavators so that you can be tracked everywhere they go. That's for the alluvial side. But the hard rock side is not really the problem, because they don't really use excavators and they just go down the hole, get some little rocks, and then they come out. And everything is smoothly regulated, and everybody will be happy. And that too has become a problem, especially with Operation the Galamsey stuff, the greed aspect, like you sitting here, you send somebody out to Navrongo, and then that soldier has connived with the locals and taking the money and doing this thing. You cannot control it, but when you get a report, you can only act on it. But before you get a report, maybe there has been some damage done, then you have to do damage control. Now, the people you're working with, so also conniving, instead of, they seize all the excavators, and they are the various district assemblies in the country. And next thing is, you find out that some are getting missing and so forth. So as a minister, I don't want to speak for him. I'd rather you talk to him and he will tell you his challenges than me. But I see what is happening, And then there's all these scandals going on within the Galamsey stop and the Ministerial Committee, Charles Bishop, after this Anna's video, So we try to, it's like your child has been suspended from school. You don't, it's your child, so you don't want everybody to know and the opposition to know that, your child has been suspended. So we try and hide and navigate so that, you can protect your child. So as an MPP, the government has to protect its image. So when something happens, they try to, to massage it so that it will not go out for the opposition, for them, But if you're doing that, and then you, the person that he's helping, is turning against him, then there's a problem. You know, so what they wanted to do was to conspire to kick him out, you know, so that they can take over, because he's not allowing them to do whatever they want to do. The same thing with Chairman Wontumi. He went to the forest, put some exhibitors there, and he was trying to do mine because he thinks he's Chairman Wontumi. I said, I don't care who he is. He seized all his exhibitors and took it out of the forest. You know, and do you think Chairman Wontumi would be happy with him? Said John does the same thing. He goes and stops all of them. So now all these people, and what's this guy's name? The one.
You mean the forestry chief executive?
Yes. They're all part of it. They're all corrupt, you know. And there's this guy. Well, he was working for CNG Alaska, where they caused some massive. And as is part of that company. And then this, I forgot his name.
Does this still exist, the CNG Alaska?
No, they've stopped this thing, you know. But it was a very mafia, soldiers and everybody involved. But he was the one who, so he stopped them, you know. And the thing is, when you're stopping corruption left and right, you're going to create a lot of enemies, you know, because the same thing happened to him at Kolubu. The reason why they hated him is because he was doing the right thing. Like Contrumbre, what that we were purchasing for 400,000 Ghana cedis. You know, you stop all these checks and balances, and then they try and come together and try and kick him out. But with Kolubu, they succeeded, you know. But with here, they're having a very, very difficult time with him because he doesn't understand why he's not allowing them to do the wrong thing. So the best thing they can do is, you know, try and create a lot of false accusation and keep bombarding it in the media, you know, so that, you know, hoping that the president will hear and this thing. And kind of was run because they said, oh, your name's all over the place. Then they used me as a scapegoat to say so many things. JoJo, so I've been sitting at home. I just came from Kumasi. So I sit me at home, they will come from work and be like, oh, they're saying you're now at Nyankwanta doing this. Then I come back and follow another day, oh, now you're at the Western region doing something. Oh, then I come back sitting here, now you're in Obuasi, you're having concessions there. Then I come back, oh, now you're in the Bronga region doing this thing, Galamsey. Then you come back there, and now I'm in Upper East doing Galamsey. But when he was saying this, I did not take it seriously. I thought it was just like normal, because he doesn't show emotions and these things. But later, when it's like a railroad came in, it was like continuous. I was like, wow, you know, all this thing was going on, and I didn't even know that all these things were being said, all these things were being done, and they were using symphony, then they were using a dance, it's like so many things. But you're the only one that came and called me and asked me questions. You know, all these people, they could not call me. You know, they will go to radio and say all sorts of things. I don't even listen to radio, so I don't hear it. So when most of the things, but you're the first person since in the 2 years that this has been going on to actually call me and ask me direct. That's why I gave you that respect. And I was like, wow, this is somebody that's called me for the first time. I don't even know who he is. Whether he's really a private investigator or not, I don't know. But you know, the truth, you cannot hide the truth. So it's like, and the way you spoke to it is like, you know, I was like, okay, this guy is not some scoundrel on the radio, just. So let me give him the benefit of the doubt and see what will happen. And at the same time is bombard my vision and this thing. And at Tanzania, you know, there's another story, you know. Somebody I've known for 2 years. We always discuss, you know, but I didn't know he was jealous of me because he came in 2014, you know, and he has said, they've heard a lot of me of what, because one thing in life is when you feed over 20,000, 30,000 people, you give them their daily bread. You know, I don't care what you say, you know, they always remember. And every day, all these people say, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. What really happens, God will bless you. You know, so it doesn't matter how, you know, you as a chief, what have you done for Adansi? I should be asking that. You know, I have fed more people than you as a chief, but I respected him. I really liked him, you know, because he was from the States, you know, he's an accountant, he's elderly, 67 years old. And I didn't see him as a chief, I see him as somebody who has a vision for the country and for the state, because I think we're all Ghanaians. So it's like, that's what's like, how do we move Adansi forward? And there's a guy called Yafusu in Obuasi. He's an NDC guy. He's called the whole of Obuasi. You know, he's a very good friend of mine, you know, and that's how I got my name, by the way. So that's his nickname for many, many years. That's okay, fine, if you're the whole of Obuasi. But the thing is, it's like, now look at it both from the physical and the spiritual aspect in life, you know, because if I don't want to go too deep spiritually, because it's a very spiritual town, you know. If you don't have some form of protection, you cannot survive there, you know. So the way I saw it was, okay, this is Yafusu. He's one of the richest men in Obuasi. He's building filling stations, have contracts with the mines and this thing. But it seems like if everybody wants to do something, nobody can do it except for him. That was like, well, I thought about it. I was like, in order to overcome demands, something bigger than that has to come and be able to, if you want to, like the Bible says, if you want to break into a strong house, you have to first catch him, bind him before you can get in. So I was like, no, okay, if you're the whole Adansi, me, I'm the whole Obuasi. The whole Obuasi, I'll be the whole Adansi. So that it's Obuasi, then the whole Adansi will be part of the Adansi North, Adansi South. So whatever they try spiritually, it will not work, because I'm the whole Adansi. Obien Hilbium. And Obien Hilbium, that's an attribute of God. I am that I am. Except for there's no other. So Obien Hilbium, the whole Adansi, Obien Hilbium, they will think that it is me. But I'm not referring to myself. I'm referring to the omnipotent, omniscient, and God himself. Obien Hilbium. That means if you try to be there, you can't. When you kululu, so you bet you. You try to steal and do kululu, we'll catch you. So that we can change the dynamics of Adansi, because Adansi, that's where the real Akan people came from. Because of the stupidity, that's why the Ashanti king was able to overtake and control all of them. And now, and there are 7 paramountcy in the Adansi area, and they're always fighting. When it comes to Mansu, they call it Mansu. When it comes to Mansu and talking this thing, they're experts. But how can we come together? This is our current situation. This is how, in 10 years from now, how do you want people to recognize me as Adansi people? So that's why I came with the whole Adansi concept. So one way I'm giving them my invasion. At the second time, I'm also insulting them. Because we started mining with South Africa at around the same era, 1896 in Obuasi and 1886, about 10 years in South Africa. But look at Johannesburg now, one of the biggest cities in South Africa. Look at all the development from the Creek Valley, what they've done with their gold. Fine, I know everybody likes to chop, and there's no problem, but they have some percentage and use that to develop this thing. And now compare Obuasi to Johannesburg, the same twin cities or twins. How come one is so high and so advanced, and you people are so smart, you're so cunning, you know everything, and you're so down, And these are the things I was discussing with the dancer and the people and this. And I said, no, we have to change this thing, because we cannot be disgracing ourselves like that, So whatever it is, even all these community mining, there should be like a fund, and they're all copying my ideas. All these things that Anglo Ashanti is saying now, that they are going to take $2 for their trust fund and use that for this thing. These are all my ideas. And then I tell you what happened for me with Anglo, the way I've been fighting them is unbelievable. So this is generally the whole
genesis
to all this stuff and to the present.
I see.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think I made a mistake. I shall give you the number of my secretary in Obuasi. I told him I'll call, when you come, I'll call him, and but he speaks fluent Chi, but he's a local there. He will tell you everything that's really happening that people don't really know this thing. So that you want concrete information, it's good to go straight to the source and to the town and get the right information, and then you can make an informed decision. So if JoJo from Boateng is the one disturbing the peace in Adansi, then I'll plead myself guilty. But if they are the ones disturbing the peace, that's why I was talking about the botanis and Aganas. I don't know which side you're on, but it's always good to hear both sides of the fence, and you can make your own informed decision. But I know, by the end of the day, everybody's going to say JoJo is right, because that's why they call me the whole Adansi today. And I didn't call myself, even the people are calling, so whether you like it or not, whether you are dancing in, whether they say, why this thing, and what? He that dancing in noise, the whole Adansi, I also registered as a company. The whole Adansi Limited. It's a registered company that I'm going to get certificates soon from the registered journal. And the whole Adansi Limited comprises of everything, from mining to service to fishing farm, you name it, whatever industry there is in this world, I've registered under that name, so that the whole Adansi, the chief cannot, because of him, that's why I did that. He said, why who makes it the whole Adansi? It's like, there's Adansi tours, There's Adansi Travels, Adansi Rural Bank, the whole Adansi Limited, this thing, you know. So why are you jealous? You know, it's just pure envy and jealousy. He's speaking like that because I'm able to do things he cannot do. So I was like, so you know, everybody has a strength, everybody has their weaknesses, you know, and I have to capitalize on your strength, and you have to capitalize on my strength. So I thought that Adansi, like, we can come together and be like, okay, look, you're the Adansi, you're the chief, you understand all these whatever you people do in chieftaincy issues, you're connected to the Asante and this, so you can play that role. I can also play the role as a business developer. You know, I have contacts all over the world, you know, because we all live internationally, and I can make it happen, you know. So why don't we put our heads together and then transform Adansi? But he wants meat pie and coke from Anglo Ashanti because they gave him some stupins, you know. So he will defend the company more than his own people. Because at least he will just sit in the palace and then they will write him a check and he'll be collecting royalties and yes sir, master, give me money, and then you're sitting there like a beggar. You know, you're all chiefs, but you're all begging. You're all waiting for the company to come and give you some tokens before you can survive and exist. And I don't see how I can do that. You know, I have my pride. You know, I can never bow down to a company because Anglo Ashanti takes some meat pie and coke and they're sitting there and then get some royalties and then you fill your pockets and then I'm a chief. You know, it's unbelievable. And then your whole town is deteriorated and nothing works. You know, so
very deserted town.
You know, I mean, I don't have to say, you know, why to go there.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah.
So like I said, this was just to pass through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
informal. Yeah.
Exactly. For you to see that, yes, this is quick. And I'm not all that strange as the picture might look. So just to pass through, I have a meeting at Oak Plaza. I have to rush there. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
So it's a running thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you have time, we can stop again, then we can go through the details.
Exactly.
But to answer your question real quick about that letter, you know, I didn't want to make it too easy for you. I wanted you to squeeze you a bit. So what happened was, when I started Symphony, my dad was a director. So it was me, my dad, and this thing. So, because I was always in the bush. He was always sitting at Accra in his office and so and so. So he can do all this letter writing, this thing. Whilst I focus myself on the bush, and my brother, who has no idea about mining, can be a secretary. So it's like, you know, a family-run business. But so that's why I was able to write the letters and deal with it. Because he already knew the Minerals Commission, the whole system there. You know, Mr. Boaje and all these people. So it was easy for me. And so he was part of the symphony then. But later on, when the campaign started again, he said that he would not have time to be a director anymore because he's going back into politics. So if he becomes a director, you know, that will interfere with what he wants to do. I said, okay, fine, if that's the case, we'll kick him out of the company, then I'll be the director only, and my brother will be a director, and I'll also be the secretary. You know, so I'll be a director stroke, secretary. My brother will be a director, and he's out of the picture. So he can continue in his political dreams of whatever he wants to achieve there, you know. And so he withdrew from Symphony, and surprisingly, you know, everybody thought he was going to run for health ministry, but that's not what he wanted. So the president asked him, so what do you want to do? He said he wants to be the Minister of Environment, Science and Technology, because he believes that our developmental gap is a technological gap. You know, the poverty gap is a technological problem. So we have to use science and technology to leapfrog to catch up with the rest of the world. So that's, as a scientist, you know, this is what he loves. And they've done a lot of work, but he doesn't want to come out yet until the heat really rises up. Then he's going to, you know, because all these years, you never see him on radio and television or say anything, because he in the press, he wants action. So that in the latter stages, when it's coming close to the voting, they will come out full force and campaign. And he and the president, the president really understands this, because he once in the cabinet meeting, he said he doesn't trust anybody. Only if Mpomboati is doing the right thing, you know, which was very embarrassing to him, because now more eyes are going to be on him, because you know, because of envy and jealousy, you know. And he and the president are very, very close. He doesn't trust anybody but my father, you know, and which is good for him, good for me. But for the other ministers who are jealous, you know, but he doesn't care because, you know, he has Ghana first, you know. And the thing about politics is, you know, all the sensible ones are staying back. And all these rogues and idiots are running the country. And it's like, I just don't see how that's possible. Politics is supposed to enrich people's lives, you know, not to make it worse. It's supposed to make people's lives better. So if you're so smart and you're brainy, you have all these PhDs, you're sitting at home, and you have somebody who has never been to high school, all of a sudden he breaks people, talks a lot of nonsense, insults people, and then he becomes an MP and a minister. What is going to happen to the how sustainable is that? You know, look at NDC. I mean, I don't know, it could be NDC, but it's like all things being equal, these people they have nothing to offer.
Yeah.
At all. So I'd rather be with a political party that has a lot of wisdom and insight and knowledge and have success stories behind their backs.
That's correct.
Than having somebody like I see in Kitia who doesn't know, like he looks like a grass cutter to me, you know, who just comes and talks because he knows how to talk. You know.
He looks like what to you?
A grass cutter. you know, like when he talks, like, you know, you go to you wear a woman's coat. You know, it's like you don't even know, you have no etiquette, nothing. You know, just because you can talk and swindle, bring people from Togo to come and vote, you know, you think everybody should listen to you. You know, so these are some of the channels. I know, I also push, but I'll do it in a silent way, you know, so I'll just be blocking people's corruption. So that's why I said, okay, I'll target that dance area because that's where the gold comes. That's like the main pillar. And once FPV as a government can make money from a dancing of Boise, there's a lot of money there. You know, even the mines, from all the 100 years of mining, they've mined less than 2%.
Wow, less than 2%.
Less than 2% of the gold.
So assuming if it's 100%,
100%.
Now, you're left with a huge one, still stockpile.
But stockpile.
Wow.
And they use mechanized mining, you know, they have the whole system. It's one of the largest mines in the world.
Wow.
At Bombay, where I was working, the old Portuguese shop, you know, I had people coming from all over West Africa coming to work there. And I looked at it and I was like, wow. So that means if you have managed our natural resource right, you know, Obuasi alone can give the whole population of Ghana like 10,000 Ghana cedis into their bank account without having to, you know, it could be run like everybody, there's no need for poverty. That's why I was like, okay, so this poverty that we're talking about is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
It's self-inflicted poverty. There's no need for, we have more money than Dubai and this thing, they put all these rich oil countries and Germany and everything together.
Yeah.
We are richer than them. But because of greed, selfishness, and tribalism, and I am the Ashanti, and I'm the Volta region, I'm from, so, you know, because of all these tribalism and clashes and voodoo and malams and pouring blood and libations and all these disgusting, I can't stand it, you know, it has, you know, so it's like our blessing has become a curse. And then it reminds of the parable of the talents, you know, a man went and gave everybody some money, you know, so that's what I see we have between South Africa and Obuasi. So okay, now I see where all this is coming from. So that the little we have is also going to be given to the one who has the most. How can you be sitting in Ghana and you're celebrating your first gold pour, and then where's the gold going? It's going to South Africa. And everybody sitting there clapping, eating meat pie and coke, and wearing this thing, and you're happy that your gold from Ghana is being taken to South Africa. When that same gold can be put in Ghana and develop ourselves. The gold is in Ghana, but the diseases are coming from South Africa. How, I mean, it's like, common sense is not common for common people, I understand that, but this is beyond, I don't know. Beyond,
it's beyond human understanding.
You're
right.
sitting on gold. You know, the whole concession, you know, you wait, the Ghanaians have this thing, but you have to wait for orders. I don't know when JoJo made some silly mistake. I don't know. Something I wish I could tell him when I see him. Then you have people, board member like Edwin Eni, sabotaging government because he said his party is in power but not his government. Because he doesn't like Akufo-Addo. He's more for Alan Chairman. So whatever Akufo-Addo does, he wants to sabotage and these are MPP people. I was like, we are fighting among ourselves. I just don't understand it. You first were in opposition. You didn't have it. Now you have, at least you have your Land Cruiser. You have your meat pie and coke. You have your salary. What else do you want? You're empowered. You come together and do something and project this. You're now fighting within yourself because of every agency. Are you stupid? So you'd rather be in opposition and everybody will suffer than you being in power and enjoying the booty. I mean, it's come together. And that's what I don't like about MVP. I call it MPP Ahoya.
Yeah, I understand you. That's who he raised. It's another issue altogether. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The challenges of Akufo-Addo's government 3 years down the line has all basically been about this Amoya thing you're talking about. The greed, this man has 10, divided, let others also have some. And then the energy to which you are going to work out to reach the bigger thing can be well facilitated, but they don't want. He has 5. The 2 that would be shared for other people, he even wants to go for it. No, it's not working that way. And that is making this president suffer a lot. And this is, because it happens to be no water, like I'm talking about. I was thinking that, okay, once I pump the water, everybody, they're called ghetto owners, everybody will get a share. So that the small one that I'm having, everybody's eating, so my own, I can have it. But rather, it's the opposite. Everybody will have their own, but my own is what everybody is fighting for. Really?
I'm telling you, they don't think about their own. It's like, as they're taking here, they're watching like yours like this, and they want to, so this is how, I'm serious, it's not like, I'm not exaggerating.
I know. And
after they do like this,
I'm just imagining
they use their leg to try and, to take, so this is how they are. Before you know it, then they use this like, they want to, look here and grab everything and, it's madness, it's insane. I've never seen anything like this in my life. That was like, wow.
Somebody should put it in animation form, a cartoon form. That's serious.
It's serious.
It is. Meanwhile, a group called itself Adansiman Progressive Association, APA, earlier held a press conference in an explosive allegations against Dr. Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng and son JoJo Frimpong-Boateng over their involvement in illegal mining. But these allegations have since not been refuted by Dr. Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng. Now, Kainai, enipakuo bi a wɔnom nso Adansiman Kronum anase Adansie Kronum ho. Enso a yato omudin anase ekuye from Adansiman Progressive Association APA. Womo so babonten eba beye nsem bi editia anase wonom ebedi nkomo bi ne nsem trefo ekeka nsem bi na emu ohu yie kwadu a de ball ora Dr. Frimpong-Boateng ne ba JoJo Frimpong-Boateng se wonom ka ho ena kwaye mu ho ensuo ene kwaye no ye twego ye se nyoma ina se ye ne kre se nye ne kre no yensa eso sa press conference mu na ye pese utie emu nsem se de sitie making nine se besi nei ora Dr. Frimpong-Boateng aka no we so afo ema sa environment science and technology besi ne yante baby ase sa enieme ana kwaduya ye de boni onim hu bi ana onim hu bi yentie the group no so e de etudwa. Take a listen to them.
One say first one go ya no afre na ye hu say e say ye ka hu bom na ye bua company no e wo sa kwan so because one way woman almost say adwuma na ye ma kwan bi wo ye pani ni hu pe tatam na e be Expôse almost start here
afei na yɛhunu yɛ hwehwɛ mu because wontumi mfiti prɛko pɛ but na dumi bi koraa ne adwene yɛ sɛ ɛgyeefoɔ no na bi a wɔmde hɔ ama wɔn nti yɛhyɛ da ne wɔn kɔtra sɛ yɛ meetings bisabisa wɔn ama yɛhu sɛ wɔn de mo hwee wate aseɛ ɛma yɛ koraa mebisa manager baako sɛ na ɛhɔ no mu yɛ minister sɛ mo nyɛ wɔn na mo de mo awon ka wɔn kura wɔn problem yɛ ministers na wɔn ɛwɔ mu no nti ama wɔn ahu sɛ aban no nso ɛyɛ dɛn anim wɔn bi bisa m sɛ antu fi sɛ firi pɔbɔ ati bɛ yɛ adi abira president Akufo-Addo nim ho hwee nam sɛ no Akufo-Addo nim ho hwee wɔsɛ Akufo-Addo nim anim ho bi wate aseɛ nti deɛ ɛkɔ so nyinaa no yɛde yɛ ma Akufo-Addo ate aseɛ sɛ Asamoah Boateng firi pɔbɔ ati ɛlɛki Kusi Junior wɔn yi wɔn adi wɔn gu n'anim ase wɔn yɛ akorɔmfoɔ na wokɔwura obi fie kɔfa ne nneɛma a womɔ korɔ no wabɔ korɔ no he said they are chiefs. No. Oh, that me I'm telling you, more than more power. Munya, I'm trying to make kasa. What? No. Anybody walk on here? Anybody walk on? I say, you're gonna have a crocodile. Your crocodile ni pado. That is why. Sana me kasa. Gonna have a crocodile ni pado do. Your crocodile ni pado do. Me catch them. For what is Chicago na wini? Akumakura uti so mani jina na enema we awe efe. Wabeche site no mu mienu de fama ne ba. Ko site ho ne ba mani some portion. You find JoJo from Pong. Go there and find out. Sika omu di no every week bi anya sika ketewa. Council be no eji wo community money, community trust fund. Onu eji no koye dwuma na wate sika ni bi. No they are to trust fund no. And no dey development ma communities no. 1.3 what you share? Na mo de mo koye mo ya ban kura na mo kwese kire na mo ye ya mo da ka mo so mo hini nyansa say week bia ye 50 million kura ko to community transfer mo e de no ya o security mo koye Galamsey wi am sa ba ne so bi pasa do time Ghana e so obi akasa ni kwa so obi aka na no tum ade ni pa de ya de na nya after all me tie onya na ahwe me o ntodua ne ma me ni fo bobo aten woni sika nkura ma kura me onhwe me eti me kama dwene Akufo-Addo wonyo na hwe me to aba ma no so o ma me kapre da me yire yare am ya na me call me so me nsuo na me hwe no eti masa atu bra se kasa ye penima sa kronosem na Asamoah Boateng ni Kusi Junior no mo ye no ye penima nkoso okay chief because community man Akufo-Addo can say koye community man will be concession it's not like that yeah krono they are duping the company illegal me find say krono no mo bo me you know illegal na mo kan dey say mo bro for me teach am bro eh krono no mo bo Professor Franco Boateng represini Asamoah Boateng bo krono yes okay your friend said last 4 months ago me wa mo pictures nyina mo site launch a community mining award I'm saying the whole Ghana official and only ya me dey me from launch na say near you already say your community mining market you soon you know what for the most in your community mining yes in your community mining because all final AGA concession are only 40% a year within the 40% and we 15 people community mining asset well
nevertheless, a controversial former official of Galamsey, Gaisie, has also questioned the former minister over certain decisions taken at the ministry during his tenure in office without conforming to best practice. Orei ono so yebiti nasemi ura kaneno yebeka ne say na oye a member of the Ekua omampeni etie se womo nso enkokwaye mu ho na yentu enhye nipa bonefo so kuini from Galamsey. Abranti Brunebeka is very controversial. I friend Gaisie. One also abetu nenum to say yes, ora Dr. Frimpong Boateng. Ye nneoma bi asa nneoma no ni na entwa yi. O believe say Dr. Frimpong Boateng as I said no offer ekwan bi so no ye ma edwuma ne ehote. Excavators ahodo bi a wo mo de kosisi baabi na o accuse Dr. Frimpong Boateng say wono a hye ne nsam kutupana oma ye bese sansa excavator no efiri ho a later near this someone so airborne echoes na chese nsem no mu ehu ye yentie dia abrantie ekọ we see so okay
Matias
na ebia later make my phone number we
Mati
and then I'm recorded prof me can't say nobody do but I'm telling you sabe wo dan ka wo CCI the what the enyama 5 ebejamia
yes sir
na wo suma say obi mefa ka kana fa nse bia ko masma ojo mensa say enyama 5 na me de ma no o mefa na nfa na ye no
sa pepe
so marfa wa mami amane na matia ni say kofi atagina enyama na de ma me no ho sesa na ma kofi atase wo na suma na ma fro wa bita wo say me na me suma no okay next thing better fan ya fan tonten then subsequently after about 2 weeks bio my friend better say enyama fufro bi so no so wo de ma me no esi man sa so gina ho sesa mi bita no say dan kan na suma me
yes sir
I'm a tell Nanka was making man said, what when I'm a smile. Punya, I should be aware of you.
I see.
I didn't know the Ashamisa. Not a wolf, my obis on my part. And then a crown of away. I know when I'm a demon. May smart bank council on Brown on my sister.
Pepe.
And she would cast Ashamisa, me wa broche. And I'm a kid to yard in the move and performing the whole ass as I can't be police for. There could be some almost a prof and a small. And I'm far for me, free or propaganda. Was he in the crown house? Not to that. Who the thousand can catch you anyway? So 1 house more, dear. Almost a
okay.
Me friend, me banner catch him. We give our one kind. Also, Chairman, you buy no money because but you know my kind and not change. People do Ghana, yeah, they're all young. I have committed to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but fortunately, the security boy in the game is about there. So the funny police will be about excavated this winning. Hey, one as mom, almost a prof and a small quickly, I'm a fair prof. One house man could go on that. Now, yes, someone from there, 10 o'clock. That's what I'm coming back as almost for a fight. Yes, say, I'm for 20. Now, as I went from so.
I see.
After the and can me see the first one and the second one and the third one. I was on your farm matching me down and you for friend. Security for friends and for phobia by almost a self committed. I'm on one door no cry, say you can't see your mobile door. And I'm saying, Miss Smith passes a George is uncle and I'm calling almost a prof in the smile. So I went to program and said, that's it, there's some back. I want to say, before back community, I didn't make a play, I mean, tell you. You know, I'm a power from your call, and then we'll move back. Now, you know, I could take inventory.
Yes, sir.
And you know, or who back also, me find your 5 and Miss Master, who found your master, who signed it, and Miss Miss signed it, and any. Now, they are calling that dance here about 1 year, and that is the main reason why me call for I recorded it to be on tape. But all along, there was a problem brewing. No prof who's a problem. Miss Uncle Forway. Uncle Forway, why almost sorry? Almost one Major Mama Kowu, you know. What's happening to the abortion? Almost one Major Mama Kowu, you know.
I see.
And yes, you can stop for a Banga soldier force and no more, and upon almost one more. Banga soldier for
that's all I'm saying. Home.
Commander Somonko. This is a directive. I don't get directive by move on that. You are under prof my order. After that, I give away a directive free CDS. But that day, Prof was bold enough to say, the minimum tax force team, the fee say you bet to me aqua, we should go in.
Okay.
Now, this is respected. Say, young stop form, and the cost of form. These same people, these same donors.
No, it's on my check.
Me say, I want to after that. And I'm only about the Yoma Bashi and my Sohono. My phone on a can't tell me just a mean pure money, the enemy pure money. Or why not penny view our vice president officer Afro. Or why not a very, very tall military man Afro. Or why not a or Ben President, you bush me. After I was saying, my microphone because forest no more saying, I'm in fast a job crazy. Maybe problem, and I'm to the problem, said, that's for it.
We are good citizen.
When I explained to a prof understood, say, yeah, more come. But this president, who you pay America wants me, put that pressure on prof. So what they have found, almost a prospective license, they are not going to mind. And then I'm going to say one of them.
Me pacho. Won say nipa binom timi hye dade mpanifo bi di to na mo bi tu ka say me pacho ka say president hu nipa bi no kan pese wo ni din ye hu san pese we president hu nipa na so de ni din na nam so e president hu nipa
me say me aka so fra me alright
I see
and me aka so fra me e be a prof and control me I will never defend prof because on no prof no can coordinate if also on chain control where two things would have happened. The two things would have happened. I can control all team man. But on the other hand, the same people who would have made sure say I'm a pro.
Okay.
This is how powerful the people behind it are.
Okay.
I'm going to make a WhatsApp conversation. At that particular case, no more blame a prof. Mo problem can tell president so show no an ho a mani kwa chire kwa onu an ken ni chi akatampo e ho na ni authority
Ekwowe me dey na ka me pese once a president di abam dey kan nipa kro no you the president di etu sa na mo no I don't know mo di
listen one for president di nipa no kura 2 year wa Ghana pa one for president di
yo tabi o kasa president nua
yes
na just wo hwemu a anam se ni nua ne president nti no wo use president di nsehunu na mmom no nyesa president na ta na kisi onyesa
no me nyesa what the president is aware of it at all.
Okay.
The president is not aware.
Okay.
Now who that president is? Who now also a minister why or who best what to say? Also me Credit Kwaku Annan
me pacho me yanko back to obi now we see excavators no mbese sai no na ye hwan dia
excavators na me hono
na ye private own and also na ye government own
and the ITV and once it is it belongs to the government
but na ye do say.
Finally, listeners and viewers, this is where we bring to an end yet another exclusive expose on the Galamsey front, part 4, as far as Ghana continued to battle the Galamsey menace in our forests, reserves, and water bodies. We hope and believe that all these that we are bringing to your doorstep and screens will surely make some impact and bring answers to all the questions, the hard drive, and the need to salvage Ghana's forest reserve out of the hands of this Galamsey menace. Until same time next week, I come your way with yet another exclusive expose on the Galamsey battle line. This has been Kwaku Annan with Ghana Speaks. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching. For enquiries, please call 020-2283-252. That's 020-2283-252. Or subscribe and press the notification bell for more videos.